During the Democratic debate, Hillary Clinton was asked why she would be the best candidate for women. And this is especially considering the fact that in New Hampshire, in the New Hampshire primary, Bernie Sanders is the one that captured 55% of the woman vote. Also, she was asked about her thoughts about when Madeleine Albright last week had her comments about there being a special place in hell for women who don't help other women.
Well, first, Judy, I have spent my entire adult life working toward making sure that women are empowered to make their own choices, even if that choice is not to vote for me. I believe that it's most important that we unleash the full potential of women and girls in our society. And I feel very strongly that I have an agenda, I have a record that really does respond to a lot of the specific needs that the women in our country face.
As you know, just quickly, as you know, your strong supporter, former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, said the other day that there's a special place in hell for women who don't support other women. Do you agree with what she said?
Well, look, I think that she's been saying that for as long as I've known her, which is about 25 years. But it doesn't change my view that we need to empower everyone, women and men, to make the best decisions in their minds that they can make. That's what I've always stood for. And when it comes to the issues that are really on the front lines as to whether we're going to have equal pay, paid family leave, some opportunity for women to go as far as their hard work and talent take them.
Hillary Clinton's response mentioned paid family leave and equal pay. In regards to empowering women to make their own decisions. Well, I specifically want to focus on the paid family leave aspect because Senator Kristen Gillibrand, who is a Hillary Clinton supporter, proposed a bill, and it's a bill that Bernie Sanders supports too. But Clinton does not support it.
Paid family leave.
Paid family leave. Now, of course, to be fair, politicians tend to be a little apprehensive about bills that contain certain provisions. So I understand. But Hillary Clinton has already answered for that. She's already given her answer. She did not give the answer in this debate, but she's given her answer as to why she disagreed with that particular bill. And in order to fund this bill, payroll taxes would have to be increased by 0.2%, which, depending on what figures
about
$1.50. Some say $1.38, $1.50 per week.
Per week, yeah.
And that's essentially why she disagreed with it. And I think her exact comments were, middle class families need their income raised and not their taxes. Right. Essentially, kind of brushing it off. But what problems do you see with the way Clinton feels this bill? How this bill should be funded? Because she said she wanted she wanted to tax the rich.
Yeah. So the obvious. I guess the differences between the way she wants to achieve a paid family plan act and the way Kirsten Gillibrand and a lot of Democrats and Bernie Sanders support Gillibrand's bill. The differences between them and Hillary's is that Hillary, again, she doesn't want to tax middle income families. She believes, like you said, that her promise is not to tax them. They need a pay increase. They don't need to be saddled with more taxes. So the problem is, all over the world, there's paid family leave. Okay, and in an overwhelming amount of the countries that do have this paid family leave, they do it just the way that Gillibrand's bill provides. In taxes, taxing everybody pretty much for it. So Hillary instead wants to tax only wealthy families, those making $250,000 or more each year. So the problem and why there are detractors to her policy position is that when you set that up, what's to stop, a Congress or a president from wanting to cut taxes? Okay. So the bill might stay in place, but what if taxes are cut on the rich? Like Republicans always want to do.
And sometimes they will just, I can see something like they just want to cut taxes in order to, so this stuff won't be funded.
Exactly.
This is
exactly. So again, so if they are able to do that, if they're able to cut taxes for the rich, then that dries up the well. This won't be able to be funded because you're getting it from the rich. So that's a significant problem. Now, if you have everybody paying for it, then it's going to continue to be funded. It's much harder to get rid of. So that's the one specific criticism, and really it's the only criticism. Where are you going to get the money from?
Well, see, here's the thing. I think like the whole framing of it is always one of people are going to be losing something.
Right.
And unfortunately, it's not thought of in the same way as, let's say, some other things that our taxes fund.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And roads, education, and stuff like that.
Anything, bridges, public parks, anything.
Monuments, anything like that. So it's like,
it's okay to fund those programs, but not this.
But see, here's the thing. Like, even though there'll be middle-class families paying into it, these same middle-class families will be able to benefit from it.
Right.
That's the thing. So that's why we're all paying into it. And guess what? Do you benefit, like, as an American, do y'all benefit from all of your tax dollars and how they're spent? No.
Yeah.
There's roads that I don't drive on.
Exactly.
There's traffic lights that I never drive through.
Not everybody has kids.
And not everybody has kids, but I sure do understand the importance of education.
Yeah, and paying for the schools. Yeah.
You know?
Let's dispel this notion, okay? Because the way she presents this is that she doesn't want to saddle middle income families with more taxes. Okay, it's the same thing Republicans say too. Everybody needs a tax break. Everybody. Okay, all right. So let's dispel that notion. Okay, one, with this bill that Gillibrand introduced, it's a 0.2% payroll tax. Okay, that is, like we said, about $1.50 per week. Okay, so that's about $6 a month, something like that. I don't think if it benefits the majority of Americans, because the majority of Americans do have children in this country. The majority of people paying taxes have children,
and they were in the process of having kids, and at some point they just had the kid.
Exactly. So if it benefits the majority of us, who would really object to paying a 0.2% payroll tax so that we could get, 12 weeks? 12 weeks of paid family leave.
And again, I think, to me, there's no way she can't connect the fact that these same families that she's so concerned with are going to be the same ones that benefit from it in the long run. Well, actually, no, in the short run, they'll just benefit from it. They can take advantage of it immediately. To me, I don't, of course,
it's a tricky way of saying this is bad for you because you're gonna have to have your taxes raised. Well, look, let's be honest. Just because our taxes are raised doesn't mean that's a bad thing. Now, of course, the goal for everybody is to have their taxes as low as they possibly can. Everybody's always looking for an exception or a deduction. Can I claim you? Grandma, what's so scary number? So everybody wants low taxes. But we all understand that we do have to pay taxes for some things.
People want low taxes, but a well-functioning society.
Exactly. And if there are things that we need, I don't think the majority of us are going to be complaining that we're going to have to pay for it. And let's look at this, okay? Because sometimes when families have children, often it's the woman, and they can't return to work. A lot of times they lose their jobs because they can't be there. It's either lose their job or be at home. I mean, it's either lose their job or come to work right after you give birth. You know, it's a bad system. So if we actually have a plan in place where we can have 3 months of paid family leave, that would prevent people from losing their jobs. So that would mean they get to keep their income going forward instead of losing that income. So again, if we're going to pay $6 a month for that, wouldn't that be better than losing your job and
Losing
not
your
having an
job.
income at all?